everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this series, we are going to see the last chip of Module 5 in 21EC53 Computer Networks. Come, let's go into the video. First question, demonstrate in detail about the hierarchy of DNS namespace. So we have seen in the other series of video, we have seen the purpose of DNS and the architecture of DNS. So what is DNS? Domain name system. So you have the hierarchy for domain name system, like how the namespace has been developed, how it has been mapped from one end to the other end. So here you can see the root server, which is connected to the different .edus with different servers. So if it is edu, you have edu server. If it is .com, you have .com server. So like that, if you use any extension for your DNS namespace, that particular server will be connected to the root server, where the root server will be having the complete information about the namespace that you're adding, which will be mapped whether it is right or not from the client to the server side. So this is the diagram you will draw and explain in detail about the hierarchy of DNS namespace. Illustrate the message format of DNS with neat sketch. So message format. So this is your message format of DNS, where you have identification flags. So you'll be writing what is identification, what are the different flags that has been used, and number of question records, like how many requests you are sending, and the number of answer records. You'll be seeing whether the query, how many queries have been generated. If all the queries are 0 in the query message, then you will be seeing about the number of authoritative records, additional records, question section. So see, once you ask for the namespace, you are asking a query, then the server checks with it and the DNS helps mapping it and then takes the data. So you're authenticating and additional records can be added, and you're questioning, getting the answer. So this message format has to be drawn and each block has to be explained in detail. Moving on to the next question, demonstrate DDNS and how the security of DNS provided. So here DDNS is nothing but dynamic domain name system. So in DNS, what we saw, there was some changes when you're adding the new host or when you're removing the new host from the server, root server, or changing any IP address. So that changing must be, you cannot do it manually. See, DNS does it manually. If there is any changes manually, the data has to be corrected and stored in both client and the server. But that cannot be done. So you need lots of manual updation. So for that, we developed dynamic domain name system. So you have demonstrated what is DDNS. In detail, you have to, I've just given the key point. In detail, you have to explain. Then how the security of DNS is provided. So DNS messages should be very confidential. It should be between server to server. It should not leak anywhere because authentication has to be maintained. It also prevents the origin authentication and integrity. That is, no falsification of applications of data will happen. And also it provides the denial of services attack. So when you are requesting for something, you will be denied sometimes. If suppose your namespace doesn't match with the namespace stored in this server, then denial of services happens. So these are the security provided by DNS and what is DDNS. One last question, illustrate in detail about DNS in the internet. So in the internet, you have a root level with generic domains. You have different domains, .edu, .com, .in, .yahoo, .in, at gmail.com. So you have different domains, right? So for that, you have different labels with description, each representing one in the internet. So what is arrow? It means that airlines and airspace. So the related .coms or .ins related to that description will be taken and mapped from each other. So what is pro? Professional organization. Net, network support centers. So likewise, you have set of labels with description to know the root level and the generic domain of DNS. So this is the DNS in the internet. So hope you have understood the small tips that has to be concentrated. Please be stay tuned for more information. Thank you.